Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for your favorite podcast, SHW. This is our wrestling, the official podcast of Southern Honor Wrestling. I'm B-Double Brandon Benefield, alongside the great GB Gerard Bonner, the beautiful Diana Michelle. And once again, we have another great special co-host this week. This time, it's the recently returned Savior of SHW, the one and only David Ali. You saw him return a couple weeks ago and win the 5th annual RumbleJack, and he's back. First of all, how's everybody doing? And David, how are you doing? You guys take your pick. Who wants to go first?
I'll go last. Ladies first, but I'll go last.
First, of course.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready to dive into this one. Hey, David.
Diana is all smiles. We are all smiles. Of course, it's always great to have David back. I'm great. You guys aren't here to see me. We're here to talk to David.
Oh, what about you, Brandon? Did you already say you were doing great? Did you start?
I'm great. Yeah. Everybody just knows I'm great. I'm always great, man. I'm feeling good.
Good.
How are you?
Good. I'm glad everybody's feeling great because I'm feeling awesome.
Excellent.
Is that better than great? I think that's better than great, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depends on how you say it.
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm doing awesome. I did a lot of cool things here recently, you know?
Yeah.
Back home, won the largest RumbleJack ever, the most stacked RumbleJack ever. Who came out on top? Your boy, not Alan Angels, but
That's the old gimmick. That's the old Alan Angels gimmick. Your boy.
Yeah,
I guess
boy.
I'm stealing it.
He's not using it anymore. Yeah, so go ahead.
So what's going on? What you guys got?
Whatever. That's the thing. What do we want to talk about, guys? I mean, you've been gone for what, nearly a year, right?
Nearly. Yeah.
So, I mean, kind of fill us in on what you've been doing. You're up living in Chicago now. I mean, kind of working that area up there, working the shows.
Growing your hair out, this little mustache you got going on. I don't know.
I had to grow my hair out to get stronger, man. Because out here the competition is stiff. It's stiff. Not saying Georgia wasn't stiff, but man, like I was trained in Georgia wrestling, so but Midwest out here, it's a lot crazier, man. It's competition and stiff. But I don't know, man. I just been trying to climb that proverbial ladder ever so gently, you know. I've been rocking it at Midwest All-Star Wrestling, been rocking it at Ironheart Pro, I've been rocking it at Freelance, I've been rocking it as many places as I can, because that's the only thing we can do, right?
Right.
But I don't know, everything is great. Heather's great, Chicago's great, our cats are great. I'm a cat guy, so I'm gonna talk about my cats.
You got cats?
Yeah, I got 4. We only live with, we're not crazy cat people, but we only live with 2. But yeah, everything is great. Everything is gonna get better too once I start adding gold. You know what I'm saying? Once I start adding gold. You said it's been a year, right? Last time I was there was October. And here it is, about to be October again, and I'm still here.
I see what you did there.
Hey, you see what I did?
I see what you did there.
Still here, man. 5 years later. What I realized though, as I'm thinking about it, as I was getting ready for this, is I've been involved in every still here. The last three still here. Still here 4, right? War Chamber.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Still here 3, War Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Still here 2, still here 1, still kind of getting up there. But this will be my third still here main event. Not only that, it's going to be let me finish. This is going to be my 12th main event. I don't know if anybody's ever main evented Southern Honor as many times as I have, but 12 times I have done it. 10 times carrying gold, retaining gold. One time, the one time I lose in the main event's War Chamber. I can't do that again, you know?
That was probably because you were not the savior.
You hate you every time with this.
I'm sorry.
This.
I did not like it.
That's not what it was. That's not what it was. You want to know what it really was?
What was it?
Let me tell you something. Deathstroke was dope, okay? And
It was. But
dope. Okay.
not for a return, and I'm gonna leave it right there. Stop it.
Okay. All right. We'll agree to disagree. Luckily, you're pretty enough for me to allow that to slide. But
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
What?
Oh, you're talking about that Diana. Sorry about that. My bad.
let me go to something that's not about your looks. Luckily, you announced good enough that I need you alive for when I win. I need that vocal stride. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave you be for now.
Okay. Fine.
The real reason why I lost in that main event, it wasn't because of what you consider a character change. I consider a character addition, because your boy always got these different personalities running through his mind, and anyone is gonna break out and kick somebody in the head at any moment.
Okay.
But the real reason why is because I was fighting something I created, you know, and that's something I never been Batman. I always fancy myself to be Superman. You know, I come in and save the day whenever it needs saving. But I never created my own villain before. And Cruel, I thought I had Logan Creed in the bag. I thought it was Logan Creed in a mask. I thought it was just Logan Creed and his little hustle. I thought it was just Logan Creed. I've been there, done that. D, you've seen it a bunch of times. But that wasn't Logan Creed, man. Yeah, I think you guys know that. IWTV knows that. That was Cruel. Living up to his name, Cruel. I wasn't ready for it. I was not, neither was Gunner. You know, neither was who was on my team. I don't even remember who was on my team. I got hit so hard, but nobody on my team was ready for that. Yeah. I just remember looking up and seeing Gunner trying to do the right thing, trying to save Gary's life, because Cruel out there being cruel. But Judas.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to keep up with Georgia wrestling real quick. Hold on, Judas. Okay, been there. Done that. And I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking it's the same guy, it's different. He's under the tutelage of Todd Sexton. What lots of people don't know is that Todd is not only my mentor, but one of my best friends. We could say was, depending on how this goes. But I know how Todd thinks. I know how Todd trains. I know that he is one of the most, if not the most intelligent mind when it comes to wrestling in the South. That man has made stars, beat stars. He's been around for a long time, so much so that he had to retire and come back out of retirement because he can't stay away. I know how he thinks, and I know how Judas is going to go. I know how Judas is going to come out. You know what? Screw all that. Judas, it doesn't matter, dude. Because I'm Southern Honor. Southern Honor is me. You know what I mean? I'm the longest reigning Southern Honor champion. You don't just do that easy. I beat Logan Creed, Gunnar Miller. Who else did I beat for that? I beat the whole entire roster. I just beat 35 guys ranging from AEW to ROH. I did that. Me. That's me in the video. That's me. That's me wearing this shirt too.
I noticed.
I see you.
All day. Sorry, I didn't mean for that to go on so long, but
hey, I can't help but notice you have Big Red there on the wall behind you. Will Big Red be coming with you to the next show? Maybe.
She is the great equalizer, but she did get me in some trouble with Cruel.
Yeah.
Well, you lit her on fire.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you bring that up, Diana. And Davey, yeah, we talked about you being the longest reigning SHW champion of all time. You talked about being there since day one, being at all the Still Here shows. Let's kind of talk about some of your favorite big moments that you've had over the course of your career in SHW. I mean, you just came back. We've missed you for the last 10 months, going on a year. And what was some big moments, some big favorite moments of yours? I mean, lighting the fire It doesn't even have to be a favorite, but memorable, just big moments that involve the Savior David Ali or the Street Fighter David Ali. Either way.
You got it.
Ooh.
Hey, see, and I just want to point out, Diana, he's not hating on my multiple personalities like some people
That's
are.
because you actually saw who you were and not come out looking like, who is this dude in this mask? Who's supposed to be the savior? Who came back looking like, who was it? What was your name? Okay, Deathstroke. I needed the savior to come back, not some Deathstroke.
And you know what? You've been telling me that ever since then, and that rang true. So, what did you get at the Rumble?
The savior.
You know, who won the Rumble?
The savior.
Okay. So I listen. All right, relax. I'm coachable. But
okay.
Listen to what B Double is trying to say. So, man, Southern Honor is like, I feel like I say this all the time to where it's like dead horse and I'm beating it over and over again. But like that place is so special to me. Like for gazillion reasons, because I have so many of these moments to choose from. And it's because of the people that go there, the people that work there. And I've got so many to choose from, but I would have to say like there are three main things that like draw back to me every time I can think about it. And I think about the career that I've had. And because even sometimes like if I'm going through it, and all wrestlers go through a period, if it's not every day, it's every month or every other month or every other day, but we all go through periods of not wanting to do this at all, because what are the reasons? You know, especially as awesome as it is to see like your friends like keep moving up and getting signed, it still reminds you that you're not there with them. And that's the reason why you don't see them anymore, or not anymore, but as much. And that's the reason, like, that could be the reason for everything, why you're not feeling it, why you're not engaged. But when I do need to, like, go back to the well to figure out why I'm doing this, who I'm doing this for, I think about Southern Honor. And the three things that I always go back to, and there's a fourth in there now, but the three things that I go back to, the first one that always comes to mind is in the cage with Owen, the first title defense. Danny Jordan was the special guest referee, and man, that's the first time I was like, this is magic. You can bleep me out if you want to, but like I had to drop an F-bomb. That was magic. Like the commentary, like applied to it, like the vibe, like the big match feel, you know. And we were just two guys, two kids in the A4, you know. Never got a chance from anybody. Everybody always wanted to make us travel or like just make us fight from underneath when we clearly had some type of talent, something to prove. And here we are in a cage for the belt, like Mania style, you know. Like that was like the end of an era. I mean, it kind of was anyway, but that was no pun intended, because the new era, it was all new era guys. But that was another reason why it made it special. And that, like, the blood, you know, the violence, the emotion, like there was a moment where I'm trying to kill Owen with Big Red, and Danny's just like, stop, bro. So I get in her face and I'm like, these are the rules. I can do anything I want. Stop messing with my life. She's like, all right, you got one more time to put your hands on me. You know, you got to tell me something to do a couple times. You know, I put my hands on her again. Super kick. Bang. And like just that emotion. And even like in the finish, when I'm telling her to count to 3, and she's looking like, I don't want to do this. I can't do this with my friend. That's what I want it to be. And I think that's when I realized, that was one of the first inclinations that I had, that I didn't want to be an indie wrestler. I didn't want to be a pro wrestler. I wanted to be a sports entertainer. Because we had the crowd, man. Everybody's like, I remember when I pulled the bat out for the first time and hit Owen with it, people were screaming, like scared, like insane, you know. And Owen is such a, whether he's a good guy, whether he's a bad guy, Owen is such a superb, like, just that's all I gotta say about Owen. And he's so, and I feel him for being angry. I've been the angry heel too. I've been the angry bad guy, you know, trying to, because sometimes you just gotta prove, hey, stop dicking me around. I need to show everybody, like, remember who I am. I feel him in his mode right now. I totally feel that. And it totally stems from him being overlooked. Overlooked. Owen Knight. I wish he had a middle name so I could be like Owen Reginald Knight. But Owen Knight is overlooked. Stop it. Stop it. Anybody who sees this, anybody watch it, stop it now. Stop it. Put some respect on that man's name.
Right. Totally agree.
I'm watching him. I went to the WWA 4 has an annual show at the turn of the new year. It's always called New Year something, right? The first time I moved to Atlanta, I'm like, I'm gonna go find the school. I already knew it was gonna be A4. And the first show I ever went to, Owen was in a match with Kiera Hogan, and they were in some kind of like tag team kerfuffle where PK and Kiera are going against Owen and his partner at the time, DAT Alien. And I forget the specifics of what happened, but at the end, Kiera returns and goes on Owen's team. And like the whole time, Owen is just like this performer that I was like, I want to be like this. I've never seen this guy on TV before. I've never seen him before ever. I need to remember what his last name or what his whole name is. I need this guy. I want to be like this dude. And
Reginald, I think it's Owen Reginald Knight is his full name.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna smoke for that from him. He's gonna hit me up. But I guess the second. I'm sorry, this is dragging on too long. I'm so sorry.
No, man, that's why you're on here. We want to hear from you, man. That's why you're here.
All right, I might need to give me a water too in a sec. But my second, the second one that comes to mind is me versus Sunny Days. The first time we did I think we had like 3 chapters to that, ending in the bunkhouse. But the first time we ever fought, man, that was a challenge because I don't know if I said this enough. It's on the documentary, but I may have said it like once or twice. But when Southern Honor was first conceived, there was no plans for David Ali. And I mean, I'm not expecting anybody to just go ahead and like throw David Ali in there, especially that I had only been working like I don't even know, like this is the 5th year for Southern Honor. So I had only been working like 2.5, 3 years. So I'm not expecting anybody to be like, you know, let's get this dude. But Dylan, I remember I hit him up and Dylan was like, we have too many WWE 4 guys on the show. Sorry, dog. And I was like, and everybody from the school was like, yo, hit him up because like you should get on the show. And I by no means was, not that I think I am like a superb or like an amazing caliber of wrestler, but I by no means was the caliber of wrestler I am now. So, but I definitely thought I was. And Dylan was like, nah, bro, sorry. And then he thought about me being in a tag with Lee Johnson. And it was first going to be called Ali and Lee, like a law firm. And I was like, I don't know, man. I kind of want to be a tough guy, like something. So me and Lee got to work and we're like, oh man, what are we gonna think about? And Shotgun
Killers.
Shotgun Killers. Yeah.
It was, oh man, I'm getting old, y'all. You know, getting old, guys. Shotgun Killers was our name, and because Shotgun Lee Johnson, and I was trying to come up with something. What was I? I was like,
you were the street fighter originally.
Yeah, I don't know how Killer got in there. I think I just wanted to sound cool.
Yeah, it sounded cool.
Yeah. But so we wrestled there for Southern Honor and stuff happened, and then we had a chance to wrestle in the singles at this place called it wasn't Sunbelt. It was Spinebuster in Valdosta. Yeah. And we had a singles match. I was like, oh, bet I'm about to like, wow, the Booker, awesome. Nope. Nope, did not happen. I 1000% wish that it did happen, but it didn't. And I think like me trying to get an upper seat in Southern Honor, I was like, man, this is gonna like set me back like in 5 steps, I just screwed the pooch, and I was a champion there. It was for like a belt that I had. So I was like,
Wow.
I'm gonna show him I could be a champion and I could defend championship. Screwed the pooch. So we had this match coming up, and I was like, I gotta nail it. Like I got to. And like sometimes you have magic with people, sometimes you don't. And Dylan Freimer is a person that like I had magic with that night. And no matter what we did, like there was some stuff that we didn't call that we did. No matter what happened, like it was we could do no wrong that night. I felt like everything was just like, and that rarely ever happens. I always tell especially newer wrestlers coming up who like get butthurt about like their match not going the way that it's supposed to. And I gotta tell myself this too. But I never expect to go into a match expecting everything to go 100%. I always expect at least one thing to fail. So I always judge good wrestlers based on being able to keep up with everything, move for move, spot for spot, page for page. But if you can turn it around, if everything falls apart.
Mhm.
And luckily enough, nothing fell apart, but we were able to like sprinkle some stuff in there. And like I cut like a highlight reel of it. I forgot why. I think I was just like, yo, these are the matches I had. It's on Instagram. And I cut like a highlight reel of it. And I'm watching the match as I'm cutting it. And I'm like, yo, this is like really good. There's parts towards the end where like they're like near falls like crazy. Like 1, 2, oh my God. Like, and that's just magic. Like you don't just, I mean, you could plan that, I suppose, but like the acting. And I remember like Dylan was he was really worried about that. He was like, man, I don't know if I can go, because he hadn't wrestled in such a long time before that. And he was really worried about it. And like him and I both agree that that's like one of our favorite matches of all time. And then lastly but not least, and then we'll cut it. You can Logan Creed. That was a dope night. That was a dope match. And like it's for the similar reasons why I can't wait to finally get my hands on Judeus. Because for so long in the South, in Georgia, guy my size is never a guy Logan size in the face and saying, let's go. It's always a coward situation or a squad situation. And right before that, I feel like it was like maybe 1 year before that. Oh, here it is. I got something. I'm not that's my crotch, I promise.
Listen.
I got something.
Wait for it.
I swear. Wait, just wait. You guys are gonna be like, oh, when I pull it out, watch.
The people listening to the audio version are going, what's going on over there? What's happening?
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
A lot of these things are like still like, getting situated. But right before that, Logan and I had a match that I publicized like really hard.
Wow.
Ali at Southern Fried. And him and I, is another person that we have magic with. We turned that match into almost a spectacle. Georgia wrestling history was like, yo, I don't know what it is about Ali, but he can take like squash matches and make them mean something. And so this time, Logan and I got to fight for real for championship. And like, even though there were creative heads in there, like, maybe Ali shouldn't be up this much. Other people were like, well, he's built it, and you have to understand the character enough to see that he could do something like this. And he was one of those people that vouched for like that situation. And I couldn't respect him more for that, because like didn't have to, nobody has to give up their size for anything. And that match was just like, it's true it's just true violence. It's true grit. It's true, like, how is this guy gonna beat this guy? And just even the end, like, and we all know how it ends. Fiery bats to the head, and that, like, again, sports entertainment. Like, that is something that, like, I never thought was on the bucket list. Boy, that was a Dylan idea too, also. He had planned that out for me before I even thought of it, and like, or before like I even knew that we were gonna do that. And I was like, that's sick. We're doing that for sure. I wonder if she can catch on fire, like, and we tested it out for like a few days to like see what the best like way to do that was. But like, again, sports entertainment. And my very last one, Overkill reunion at the Rumble, because we worked hard for that, and there was a lot of there wasn't too much friction getting Overkill in certain places, but man, that came at a time in our life we were just real pissed. We were pissed at everything. We'd done a bunch of work at different places, didn't really go anywhere. We were told, don't be yourself, stop acting like yourself. Carly gets told, you're too much like where you come from, and that's why you're never going to be like such and so and so. Danny gets told, like, hey, we want you to have blank gear, take all the character out of your gear. Zicky, like, show character.
Zicky is a character. What do you mean?
What in the world?
That's crazy.
He's a lot of character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it would be, Zicky, you get too much character. Let's throw you in this kind of like jokey thing. Let's not give you a chance. You know what I'm saying? My man's was an NWA champion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, he's television champion. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Ashton Starr, another guy, and he's getting told, like, listen, we already have by several promotions, we already have like this type of character, and you guys can fill in the blanks. We already have this type of character. We can't have two. We can't have more than one. So you're gonna have to change something about yourself. And Overkill was us pissed off because, I mean, look at us now. You know what I mean? Look at us now. All you had to do was just either like give us a chance or just give us a chance. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, you're not dealing with people who aren't going to the gym every day. You aren't dealing with people who aren't staying in the ring, training every day, watching wrestling, living wrestling. I can't tell you how many times I've been told that I wasn't making sacrifices, and I've given up relationships, homes, families, jobs, sleep, health, all of this. You know what I'm saying? Teeth. Oh my God, teeth. I love teeth. But you know what I'm saying? And for us to be told that to our faces was like a spit in our faces. So if they're not going to give us the okay, we'll give ourselves the okay. And we try to get that in everywhere. And like Southern Honor was like, we're definitely trying. I mean, you guys knew we were trying to get that in there hard, like so hard. And the best we got was, more proof. Hell freezes over. The multiverse effect. And then the RumbleJack the year before last, where we didn't get an Overkill spot, but we had the Overkill shirts on. We're just trying to let everybody know. So this year, like, the respect that Dylan has for like just our continuity, because like all through that was like a peppering of like new era Overkill and like the day ones pretty much. You know what I mean? We got celebrated, and that was, I mean, granted, Southern Arm's only been around for 5 years, but like, I think the continuity of it moves in a different way. It's not week to week. So like every time it's month to month. So you have to fill in the gaps of like what's happening, so it feels like years have been going by when it's actually only been 5, and I think that's cool because you can leave. Like there was one time I left and I was like, I'm leaving, guys. And then I came back, and everybody was like, "Oh," shit. And I only missed like one show.
Yeah.
I was like, "Awesome! All right, we got these guys in the bag. I love these guys. They're awesome." But yeah, to get like acknowledged like that, like, and to have that spot, and like what people don't know, Ryan Rembrandt goes back with us to the A4 too, like all the way back to the back days. Him and I, me, him, AC Mac, Austin Theory, The Woad, we're in this group called The Force in WWA 4. So, and that, like, if you go back and look at that, then look at the New Era, then look at Overkill, like they're all kind of like, it's like that kind of heart that's bled into everything, you know. Mac and I faction twice, you know, and to just get acknowledged like that, man, it's insane. Like all like the New Era got acknowledged, you know, but Overkill especially, like we worked hard for that, and Ryan to be a part of that, and we actually went up to him and we're like, "Yo, so this is what's gonna happen," and I'm fully expecting him to be like, "Man, I didn't want to come out here for all of that," you know, but he was like, "No, it's thick because of like the lineage and stuff like that," and for him to be a part of that, and like for all of us to be together, finally, just it was dope. It was dope, and to get to be with Carly as the last four, and to be in there with him, man, that's my dude. I love Carly. That's my boy. Like I did not like him at all at first, like, so, but that's my dude. I love him, man. I love all those guys. But that's it. My moments. That was all.
Whew. Well, we're out of time, folks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious. I wanted to ask you this. You know, you went away for almost a year and you were able to come back and do something that you've never done in your career, and that is win the RumbleJack. What are some of the things that you have learned while being away that makes you even more dangerous and even more credible now than you were? And I mean, you had an insane run, obviously our longest reigning champion, which will never, ever be forgotten, probably never duplicated or topped. What have you learned in the last year or so while being away that makes you even more dangerous now that you're back?
Man, I definitely have to say, and I'm gonna try to keep this answer short. If anybody wants to hold up one of those, that'd be
wrap it up. No, I'm just kidding. Take as much time as you want, buddy.
So like I guess the one thing I learned that helped me to be able to come in and win the RumbleJack was who I was. You know, I figured out who I wanted to be and who I needed to be at Southern Honor while I was in Georgia. Coming up here, I'm in a different ship than I thought I would be. I thought it would be kind of like with some of the younger guys, like trying to make a name for myself again because I'm in a different area. But I've been kind of in this position to help the newer guys come along. So I guess the best way to give an example is a lot of times you'll see, and I'm just gonna pick random names out of my head just so everybody can get like an understanding of like what I mean. If you bring in like a Carlito to bring in like Owen Knight, you know, we already know like who the vets are in the situation, and hopefully this match is going to be a match that lets Carlito get Owen over. I'm in that position, and I by no means think I am. I hate it even just like coming close to that concept of me thinking that like I'm good. For some reason, my brain works different. But I've been in that kind of role coming up here, so it's allowing me to learn that I'm not as bad as I thought it was, even though I said all that self-deprecating things just now, but like I'm not as bad as I thought it was. The things you often wonder when you're being taught things, if you're learning them and if they're being retained, and all the things the knowledge that Fox, that QT, that Rick Michaels, Todd Sexton dropped on me, that like seriously just carried over. And like they told me this to begin with. You know, it's going to be a lot different for you now because you're not going to be like a rookie. You know, now you know things going into like a new situation. And there's a hell of a lot of credence in that because they're looking at me to be the guy to like keep this shit together. Excuse my language. But I often get in that type of light up here. The other thing that I think helped me learn is because I am having to wrestle these different styles. I could fully do a Southern style versus whatever style they want. It'd still probably work. But learning their styles up here. One of the things that I often read about myself in any kind of article describing me, and wrestlers, newer wrestlers, if you're watching this, look yourself up, man. See what people are saying about you. See like what your stigma is. If you can't find a lot of stuff out there about you, make noise. So that way when you do make noise, make posts, get things out there about yourself. So that way when you do Google your name, stuff comes up. You know, you want people to do that. But I digress. The one thing that I would often read about myself is I would get described as versatile. And I think that's the way that I wanted to go. I always wanted to be a striker or like, I wouldn't necessarily say a technician guy, but I always wanted to be a striker or like maybe like I don't know, maybe a powerhouse guy because everybody wants to be a power guy. But I like being versatile because that means I can do anything and you can't really be prepared for one thing. So up here training, I made really good friends, Heather and I, with GPA and Laney Luck, who are like Chicago royalty up here. And if nobody's ever seen them wrestle, Google them, look them up on YouTube. Their style is crisp. I was about to say flashy, but like GPA, if he knows anything, it's in the name. That man knows psychology. So like you're gonna get some like if NXT is your steez, you're gonna get NXT type stuff if you Google them and look them up. But they've been hooking me up with just like additional knowledge because like Southern wrestling, down pat. Midwest wrestling, didn't even know was a thing. So now I'm trying to get that under the belt so that I can add to my versatility. Because like even though I am the savior, what I do at the end of the day is still be the street fighter. You know, so going into the Rumble, I knew there was going to be. I had a feeling, and my summations were right, but I had a feeling that there were going to be a lot of day one guys. Because if I got the itch to come back, who else has got the itch to come back? You know, I didn't know it was going to be that stacked, but I was either going to think there was going to be day one guys or some of the newer guys on the roster. And even though I left for a year, almost a year, I never stopped watching Southern Honor, never stopped caring. You guys are my family. So I can't prepare for anything. I can't prepare for Nauticism. I can't prepare for Movie Mike. I can't prepare for the Kimway. I can't prepare, obviously, for Bryce Cannon and those turds. But I came prepared. And that was what I did, JB. To answer your question, I learned. And that's something every wrestler who's coming up, who's in the middle, who's older, they'll probably tell you to, like, never stop learning. Never stop learning. If anybody ever seen John Cena versus Kevin Owens, up until that point, everybody's like, John Cena, 5 moves of doom. What's he going to do against Kevin Owens? He pulled out a whole toolbox because your boy learned. He necessarily got to do it, but your boy learned.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
There you go. Yeah. You know, you touched on this earlier, David, but and you already kind of answered it, but I was going to bring up the fact that the RumbleJack kind of saw so many different phases of the RumbleJack. We saw so many day ones, so many new era kind of moments, and so many overkill moments as well. And I was going to get your perspective on what it was like because you were kind of a part of all of that since you were here since day one. And you kind of already answered that, but I just thought that was so cool. And the fact that we had so many day ones, which you just mentioned, I mean, how crazy was that? That's probably the most day ones we've ever had in RumbleJack ever in the 5 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So think about this too, though. Okay. Think about not only the fact that day ones came back, But think about who the day ones were. Like,
Right.
insane. Like when people ask me about Southern Honor, the main thing that I try to stress about the best reason to work there is your footage that comes from there. The footage looks awesome, and everybody looks like a star, you know. And those guys who are looking like stars then are like stars now, and it's because of like the stuff that they produce from there. Like any notoriety that I gotten, those guys can argue like what like helped them move along or whatnot, but I know for a fact that for me, especially during the pandemic, what really got me over was Southern Honor. The stuff that I was doing there, like the me winning the championship was a part of Black wrestling history, and they only touch, and GB, they only touch upon like WWE, AEW, or like the big time, like big indies, you know what I mean? And Southern Honor, like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's been other like champions of color, but like I'm the only one that got it to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to brag on myself at all, but that goes to show what kind of a weapon Southern Honor can be if you use it. Because once I won that belt, I didn't let anybody forget it. I didn't let anybody not know it. I was going to tapings at AEW, and people are like, "Yo, after I do this extra spot, how can I get on Southern Honor?" And I'm like, "Listen, this is what it is." But to go to the other side of the statement, because it was a question, so I answered it earlier. But to go to the other side of the statement, man, I texted Diana and I kind of blew it for her because she didn't know I was coming. But I was like, I'm gonna be there, and I wanted to tell you guys, but I was like, who's not gonna be on the video, really? So I wanted your commentary to be authentic, as it always is. But I told her, and like just me like texting her, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to come back." I was feeling like almost a month in advance, like, "Yo, I'm so excited for this." Carly and I are like coming up with like dream scenarios for like the Rumble and things, and what's crazy is this, everybody in that match, we've all done Rumbles, we've all done Royals, and the same consensus like comes out of those matches. We hate those matches. They're the absolute worst. They always fall apart, especially on the indies. They always fall apart. Something either goes on too long or too short. Something always goes wrong, right? And this was one that even afterwards, everybody was like, "Yo, that was so much fun." Or like even before, everybody's just pumped for it. Like to do a Rumble. Most people are in a Rumble for like maybe 5 minutes or so, but everybody's ready to get in there and punch and kick, and and everybody's happy. Like people who had beef, who I remember having beef or slight beef before, are like, "What's up, man? Like this is, and Southern Honor." I'm gonna brag about it again. I guess this is the best place to do it, but like it always has. I remember when and I hope I don't get any flack from Steve Platinum, like he comes from out of the ether again, because I'm cool with Steve too. I respect him. He actually helped me with my mental game, but I just remember reports being like Southern Honor locker room unhappy. But every time I go there, it's always like I never hug so many people, so many dudes in my life. I never been in a building where I'm telling like multiple men, "I love you, man. I love you." Match out the match, like you know what I mean. Just even in the walkway, just like it's something special, man. Like something extra family, from Gary all the way to Diana. No. I do think it was super funny though. I've been telling this story a lot, like how I was trying to walk up behind you and GB, and and you knew I was gonna be there.
Who, me?
I had no idea.
Yeah, you know I was gonna be there.
I did. GB didn't.
Brendan had the list.
And at the camera, I'm looking at. So GB was the only one that didn't know.
Right.
Ah, that sucks. Okay, but I've been telling this story though. I came up behind you guys while you guys were putting commentary together, and I'm like, I'm trying to get your attention, GB, and I'm like, well, I guess the ring, da 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 da, and you don't give a damn what I'm saying at all. You just keep walking, and then you turn back around, and you're like, oh man, I was like, that's what I wanted right there. That's what I wanted. And big hug, big embrace, man, and like just seeing you, I don't think I ever get excited to see. I hope nobody takes offense to this ever, but I never get excited to see like a commentary announce team like I do when I see you guys.
Hey, like, I hope that offends everybody else. We'll take that. That's all us, man. And we feel the same way about you, buddy.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's why, like, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but like, I oftentimes, especially when I was like there on the roster, I would oftentimes try to plan things around you guys and with you guys because, like,
I remember I have still the text messages and all the plans and everything.
Yo,
hey, not only would you try to plan things, you would plan something and then do something totally different.
Yes.
Anyways, I won't get into it, but you know where I'm going.
Choking my boy out with the bat.
We were texting about this earlier in the week, so I know you know what I'm talking about.
Listen. I feel like I fully like said exactly what I intended to like pictures, so that way like everybody can have a full understanding. I feel like the only person that got it or that understood what was gonna happen was GB. I feel like he was.
Hey, again, I'm not gonna get into it on the air, but
because
we can talk about it later.
Ivy, he was the only one that knew you were coming at him with a bat like that.
Oh, we have a thread, the three of us or the four of us, because there's four of us, but we have a thread with four of us. I will post the screenshots. I will post the screenshots, bro. Thumbs up, likes, everything. And then I got there and I was like, bet. The only person that doesn't really know about this is like, you know, some officials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I heard about it afterwards. Trust me, I heard about it all afterwards. After you had already gone home. Anyways, again, all fair conversation.
Okay. But Diana and I, we've had like, I don't know, I always tell her she's like the lily into my rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I really wish I could have did more with you at the Rumble this past time. And it was a missed opportunity, you and Cheyenne, because like that's all hindsight stuff, you know. Because what I was really thinking is don't bust your ass on these steps because for some reason you decide you want to wear sunglasses.
Yes.
So, and I swear to God, I looked for her. She usually is like right here on the right.
Diane was right behind me, like right behind me.
And I felt like I looked in that area, but I just saw like little underneath the glasses, like little hands sticking out, and I was like, man, and you can kind of see it on the video. I'm like, man, I hope I get the right. All right, I got to get out here.
If you'd have fell down them stairs, I'd have killed you. That would have been awful.
You would have killed me. I think
it would have been awful. I'd been like, David, get up and go do it again. Get up, go do it again.
Yeah. The finish would have changed, I think, if I would have fell down the stairs, because, you know.
Just playing. He's not really here.
That would have been funny. That would have been funny if you got up and said, hang on, let me do it again.
Yeah, it's fake, David. Right. It's fake.
I've done that before. I wrestled Tony Midas in Texas one time, and he came out fine, everything, heel. I came out as a babyface, no music, and everybody was like, what's going on? And I was like, whatever, guys. I get in there, I'm doing the rope thing, my music starts playing, so everybody's like, oh, it's too late, and I'm like, no, we're doing this again. You go back up there, come back out, and funny enough, that booker of that show, after he was giving us feedback, he was like, that was the worst match. You didn't engage with the crowd at all. And after that in the entrance, hook, line, and sinker. But
wow. Anyways,
wow.
You know, what did you guys think about that? My red jacket.
Hey,
nice.
It was a good look.
Red.
Yeah,
I was a little worried because Diana hates on me when I wear anything but black. So
I don't hate on you for that. I don't. I like the red. You know I love red.
I know. So, but you was hating on Deathstroke real hard.
Well, because you had a mask on. It wasn't you. It was like David playing dress up. I'm like, where's the Savior?
Okay. What about what about the overkill Pharaoh that I did at Still Here? What was it? Still Here 3?
I did not like the crown thing. I didn't like that. And that's just me. I mean, don't put a crown of something on your head like that. I didn't like that. I was totally against that. That was crazy, but it was cool.
This mask. How could you not like this?
Can you do the rest of the show right now?
That's
Could you just
so
put it on?
funny.
Yeah, just put it on.
Maybe I'll do it in this. Maybe I'll do it.
Don't put that crown on your head.
Maybe I'll do it in this.
Oh,
my
that's it.
God.
Hey,
Who would know? He's coming out. You know, everybody's thinking it's the Savior. Who even knows if that's really him?
There's like
See,
Sting wearing the Sting
and
mask.
then you had
know?
like face paint
Yeah.
on him, like, dude.
hey, yo,
Oh.
the crown was dope. The crown was dope.
I didn't
Those
like
pictures came out of the crown. That was
I
you
know.
can't. That wasn't dope. And you're a faithful woman, lady. So why you didn't?
I am, but I didn't like the crown.
That's
because
why if you're gonna heal it up, then that's the way to do it, because you pissed off a lot of people doing that.
Oh yeah.
Joe,
like it.
that was Joe's fault. Joe
Well, I'm saying, but that was the point. Like, you were supposed to be the bad guy. I mean, it
Mhm.
worked.
Yeah.
it did. It
Yeah.
There
did.
was a lot of things about the black leather and the bat that worked that pissed me off too. But yeah,
What were? Oh, really? Well, okay.
you know, I mean, we had the heat in the ring, but it was, you know, in the moment it was real heat. I was like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you
Listen.
right here.
All I remember is that you said hallelujah. That's all I remember.
One time to save GB.
Mhm.
Again, just quit. Let's not bring that up. I'm sorry for bringing it up to begin with, because this is an off-air conversation. I'll get too fired up
It's
about
very traumatic for B-Dub.
Yeah,
It's
no,
very, very
yeah.
traumatic for him.
Fun fact though, you guys got nobody to blame but Diana for how well I use that bat. Because she taught me how to use a bat. She taught me how to swing a bat. I wasn't doing
You
it
were
right,
swinging like this. I'm like, who taught you how to hold a bat?
you know? And she goes, listen, let me show you something.
This is not how you hold.
That's my Diana impression. Let me show you something right here.
Oh my
it.
God.
Wow.
You're gonna have to work on that if you're gonna do that again.
Wow.
Hey,
Real heat now.
You're on your own, David.
I'm
Sorry.
trying to show Reba McEntire. Like,
I do not sound like Reba McEntire. Shut up.
so let me ask you guys this. I have
Well.
questions. Okay.
Yeah.
I have two questions for you guys. Do you guys ever get asked questions on here?
No,
Not
usually
often.
we're the
No,
ones
usually we're
asking. Yeah.
Okay. So I got two questions for you guys. The first one is a little self-involved, so forgive me. But what are your favorite David Ali moments?
I got mine right off the top of my head.
Okay.
Mine is when you won the belt.
That's mine too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Just
Yeah.
because
Because he didn't know, right?
well, no, I'm not going inside baseball, so I don't want to go too inside, but I mean, just the reaction, your reaction.
Not that he didn't know, but they didn't know that he actually won. That he didn't realize.
You talk about our genuine reactions, especially Gerard's genuine reactions from time to time.
Oh, the whole
Yours
no.
being so genuine, like I absolutely loved the reaction. And on that same note, in that same match, Gerard's reaction, where he goes, "No!"
That whole picture.
Yeah, there's like a few things that I'm like, yo, that's WWE right there. And that was definitely one of them. Gerard's reaction. Yeah. Just, what the, like, almost quit, like, what is going on? Like,
It was
it was definitely just like, that son of a bitch, that bastard. It was definitely that level. And I was like, yes. Like, you guys do so good, like, on the commentary.
Thank
But
you.
that, without going inside baseball, like B-Dubs was saying, I thought I fudged. I thought I fudged. And I was like, Dylan is never going to ask me to do anything ever again. I don't even want to come back. I just want to leave. But
You
like,
messed up so bad that you won the championship on accident.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't bad.
I'm
Not that you did. I don't want
I'm going
anybody to think I'm saying
myself.
that you won it on accident, because you totally did not win it on accident. But just saying, that's how it would have been.
I just that ref tried to fuck on me. That's all I'm gonna say. But that, you got a favorite Ali moment?
Who?
You.
Oh, when Deathstroke came out, that was my favorite.
Wow. Wow.
That was perfect timing, Diana. That was good.
Oh,
Well done.
Very
Well
well done.
done.
It's good.
Well done.
I have a lot of favorite Ali moments, but my favorite probably is when I snatch that mic out of your hand.
Oh, not destroying me right now. That's not your favorite.
Right.
Destroying me.
We can keep going, but
I will say this. There is this one. It's on my Instagram. I think it's me versus Gunnar Miller, and like, was it Gunnar? It doesn't matter. But I was trying to talk like hot stuff, right? I was like, haha, this, and I'm bad. Haha, this, and I'm bad. Haha, Diana sucks, right? She sucks, everybody, right? Haha, watch her suck. And I throw you the mic, and you're just like, boop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was who was I wrestling? I think it was Jordan Kingsley. I think actually.
maybe. All I know is you're on the other side of the ring and you toss it thinking, I'm just going to throw this mic at her.
You guys, she caught it like she knew the force. Like she wasn't even scared. You should go back. You should watch it. She was like, what? And I'm like, yo, the crowd popped. She was just
Yeah.
like,
What they did. I mean, I taught you how to swing a bat. I can teach you how to catch a mic.
look at her now. She's not even phased. She's
Not
still.
phased.
Oh, I don't even think that was a good moment. I don't even remember that.
I didn't even
David,
remember. I
David.
didn't remember it until
Like,
just now.
David,
So that
I
was
don't-
pretty cool.
Do you know who you're talking to? This is Diana Michelle. I'm
Three
just
know.
time. Three
You know.
time. Three
Yeah.
time.
You know me.
yeah.
Hey,
We're not
what's
shocked.
like to win a Georgia award? I never won one of those when I should have.
Wow. Wow.
Let me just tell you, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yo.
I mean, I would
Well,
do that,
you
but my shoe job has asked me to
Oh yeah,
display
GB's got some there.
in the office. So
Man, I don't know, man. I ain't never got one of them.
if you would just vote, maybe you would.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying is, what was it? It's 2022,
Oh,
2021. 2021, maybe
21.
year. 2022 was my year. I got
yeah.
snubbed. I got snubbed. And that's how I feel about it. You know, I respect everybody who was in contention for it. Judas was in contention for it. I think Mac, Joe Black won it. But like, man, like, and I'm not gonna take anything away from Joe. I'm not gonna take away anything from anybody who's already won it before. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you're somebody who like, when the past 2 years, your category is filled with guys who are like mainstays already on the scene, and like you found a way to break through. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that needs to be like acknowledged, but not just for the person who should be acknowledged, but for the future. You know, like guys to this day still like look at those rankings and hold those close to heart. And like I oftentimes like am for it too, because what I used to say was, so nobody else is watching, at least somebody's watching, you know, at least I have some kind of like thing that I could like measure myself up to, you know, somebody's watching. That's I always crave critiques, because if I don't know I'm doing something wrong, I'm always going to be thinking I'm doing something right.
Right.
So like, for as good as it was, it still needs to be better. It needs to show that like new people can make it. And I feel like Georgia, for all its good and all its bad, one of its main problems is pushing new talent. You know, and that's the whole entire reason how the Savior was created anyway, because I was like, stop and push new talent. I'll do whatever I gotta do. I'll kill your heroes, like CT Keys, you know, I'll do what I gotta do to like to get in those spots. And it worked out for a period of time too, you know. But like I really think 2022, man, I busted my ass. I was everywhere. I had a WWE tryout. I was on AEW regularly. I was the longest reigning Southern Honor champion. I was a Southern Fried champion simultaneously. I was the IWE champion. Overkill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hot as I beat Tony Nese in Atlanta. In Atlanta, not not considered Atlanta because it's like a couple hours, 45 minutes or whatever away. In center stage in Atlanta, I beat WWE, a former WWE Cruiserweight champion.
I was there. I saw
Yeah,
it.
I was there too.
Yeah.
Nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, what? Like, at least the year before that, it was like by one vote. This year, they didn't even say nothing. It was just like, well, no. And I was like, how? And, you know, but at least you guys got your awards. You know what I'm saying?
You brought it up. I wasn't going to bring any of this up. You brought it up.
Oh, hella mad. That's why every time I come to Georgia, I got to show out. You know what I'm saying? Like when we do these on tap shows, or like if I come back to Southern Fried, I always got to show out. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to show them what they missing. You know?
And here's the thing. You're talking to your homers right here, buddy. Like we're with you 100%. So you're preaching to the choir. And I know that we're talking to everybody else right now, but if you're talking to three of us, you know, we know,
Yeah.
we know this.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys my next question, right? Have been doing this 4 years together, all together. What have you guys learned, or like what do you wish? Is there anything you wish you could have done like differently, or is there anything that you guys plan to do? Like how do you guys feel about your positions there?
I'm going to jump in real quick because just right off the top of my head, and this is no offense to anybody I worked with in the past, but I wish that I had met Diana and GB from day one. I wish y'all had been with us since October of 18, because as soon as you guys jumped on board in December of 19, it's been, I mean, we just took off like a rocket ship. And like, I just wish we had that full first year with V3. And I'm not taking anything away from that full first year. It was still a great, fun year. And I look back on it fondly. But man, ever since you guys came aboard, and I met you guys at the same time. You know, basically, I think I met Gerard like in the crowd a show or two prior, but you know, like once we all just clicked right away. So that's been amazing. But like, and the other thing real quick, I will say, cause I don't want to take up everybody else's time, but as soon as GB came along, cause for me, this was just a fun little side hobby I do once a month just to get away from my real job. And this is just a fun, cool thing. I had never done commentary prior to SHW, didn't know what the heck I was doing, and had no like serious intentions of like of taking it seriously, of doing it like a real job, and that it could ever maybe you know, potentially lead to something else. And so as soon as GB came in, he was zoned in and locked in, and this is it, this is what I want to do. And we started wearing suits and, you know, like just taking it seriously. And then it got me going, holy cow, I think together we're actually not too shabby at this. And well, maybe he's onto something. Like we are pretty good. Like, okay, wait a second. I never even thought about it to take it like seriously as like a real gig. And man, ever since then we've been locked in, and I feel like every show, all three of us, it just get better and better and better. That's just me.
For sure.
It is
Go ahead.
Go ahead, GB.
No, Diana, please.
Oh God. I don't know. I think just I'm more aware of the position, not just my position, but like AEW, WWE. I mean, just the position and what is possible out there. It's crazy what could happen and what may happen. What to work for, you know, it's a goal. It's something that you probably never imagined to do. But I mean, you know me, I wasn't doing this. I was just a fan. I didn't know you could do anything with wrestling. I mean, you and I, we kind of grew up with this whole thing this last 5 to 6 years and everything. And I don't know, it's just the evolving of everything, becoming myself and being Diana. You know, can't nobody be Diana but me, you know. I mean, I'm the only one. There's only one. And I'm just going to be the best Diana there is. And let's see what happens.
I love it. All right. So there was a lot in there. What have we learned? What have we learned, and where do we want to go? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I've learned is that this is the place where it's okay to be confident.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, for all of the things that I've had a chance to be a part of and to do, there are a lot of times where confidence isn't encouraged. And so here, literally from, day one, it was like, well, I better get this. I got one shot, and I don't have time to be scared. I don't have time to be afraid. And so it's like, let's go do this. And realizing that all of the things that I've been involved with in life have led me to this moment and equipped me for this moment so that I can handle this, So it was being okay with being confident and then realizing, what? Nah, we can crush this. We can absolutely crush this. And, so it's been learning that and then seeing, I didn't really know who we would measure ourselves up against. You know what I mean? Like in terms of indie wrestling, no offense to anybody, I never looked to say who's the best in Georgia. Let's be like them. The goal has always been, a national promotion. And the question was how you get there. And so I think what we've been able to do in these last few years has shown us that, yeah, we belong in these spaces. And so in terms of where we go, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, I would hope that it's obvious that, there's more for all three of us. And, we talk about it. All four of us specifically. But I know that, the three of us have talked about it regularly, just kind of, and it's, I will say this, that I think what's so cool about Brandon and Diana is we all kind of have different roles in terms of how we relate to each other, and so I'll probably be the one to say I'm the guy that's going to push all of our dreams. I'm the one asking, where do we want to go?
Right.
What do we want to do? How are we going to get there? Because for me and somebody's going to get in trouble. Hopefully it's me. There is the understanding. When you understand that there's more, then this doesn't become the ceiling,
Right.
and there's also the acceptance that if for some, this is the ceiling, that too is okay, because everybody's allowed to have different dreams, right? And as long as you can live out whatever that dream is, that's the dopest. I think for me, it's us realizing what our dreams are and saying we can fully pursue it, whatever that takes.
Oh yeah. You're always like so well-spoken. You're like the most well-spoken person I know, I think.
Wow.
Like,
thank you.
Because I've known you since you were coming in at DDP Yoga.
Yes.
And like you're always like the most well-spoken dude there too. Like,
wow.
Hello. And I'm like, that all right. This is like we always like we'd be like that Bonner guy. That Bonner guy is like
wow.
Real, our Bonner guy's real dude.
Thank you.
Every time you come in, or like, yeah, Danny and I would just be like, oh, the Bonner guy's here. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. And
that's awesome.
We go back to like all the way back into the heat, the days back in the heat out there.
Yes.
Finding barns.
Yeah.
We go all the way back there. And B, yeah. Anyway.
Hey, I can still hear you. No, me and you were day one SHW, man.
Like honestly, like you're all Southern Honor to me. Like, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because like when I do think about like the things that like pop for me, like you're a part of that. Like I know I give you like a lot of heat, a lot of stuff. I'm like look at what you're doing right now. Like you made this podcast for Southern Honor. Like nobody asked you to do that. Nobody asked you to do like the lives beforehand. Nobody asked you to go the extra mile to waste your time, your money, your energy, your resources on just adding to what Southern Honor is. Because like we could be another indie show that posts out like 3 weeks after the show is going and a week before the show is about to happen. But you guys have helped with this hype machine, this train, and that's the reason why like we know, like you know how a house looks great on the outside, right? but like somewhere in the attic, there might be like something like some cobwebs. We know there might be a couple cobwebs in there, but you would never guess it.
Right.
You know, there's cobwebs in every house.
Mm-hmm.
Never guess it at Southern Honor, just because of like what Brandon and you guys have helped to create. Like even with MSP before, like morphing into this, like you didn't have to do that, and that's to me that's mad honorable, and like you're a mad honorable dude. We were talking today, Danny and I, because I was texting Brandon about some stuff. I was asking him about MSP and some other things, and he used some language, and I was like, I don't think Brandon's ever cursed before.
If you get me fired up, man, sometimes it happens.
But
if you put a drink in his hand, maybe.
What makes it more hilarious is that earlier in the paragraphs, right? So earlier in the first paragraph, he calls somebody like I forgot who he was talking about, but he called.
Hey, well, first of all, wait, you didn't even ask me for permission to be telling what I texted you. That was private.
Well, I'm not. First of all, I am not. I'm really everything right now because it was. I was not going to go into into details, but
no names.
No. I was going to say anybody's name. It's just respect. I'm not gonna drop all the tea.
Got me sweating over here. I'm like, whoa.
No. Look, so you know what I'm saying, but use the word chucklehead, and I was like,
he uses that a lot.
I was like, because I'm telling Danny, I'm like, yo, and I said chucklehead, and Brandon used the word chucklehead, and she's like, he's so cheesy, but that's why we love him, right? But then he's never gonna use a cuss word, and then like I see a couple cuss words, and I'm like, Brandon. They're not even like bad cuss words, but I'm like, Brandon, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I called somebody. I think I said like poopy head or something. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, it was cheddar mouth or something. But like, Brandon, you've always been a respectable, commendable dude, and that's what I love about you. And GB, bro, like you're the one thing I've always admired about you is like your ability to make connections, bro. Like seeing you like with when I saw you with Black Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah.
And that's what I really, when I said that Southern Honor got featured in the championship scheme was Black Wrestling Alliance. That's what I meant. What I said.
Yeah, no, you were close enough. You said Black Wrestling, which I knew what you were talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, fun fact: when their first year out, I tied with Ricochet for Wrestler of the Year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was an accident somehow. But anyway, bro, you tied up with them. When I saw you with them, I was like, that's dope, man. Because if anybody needs to be representing like us as the people in wrestling, the South. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know if you guys know this. And D, I might like go ahead and steer this back towards you now because you're from the South, you know what I'm saying? But like when I come out now, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a Chicago place. I'd be like from Chicago by way of Atlanta, but I'm still from Atlanta. And I thought about it long and hard one day because one of the guys asked me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Newport, Rhode Island," like I usually do. But I was like, and literally every time I think about my experience in the South, you guys pop in there. Like Southern Honor, you guys pop in there, and I'm like, I did that for you guys, and it's something small, and it's not like anything that's gonna make a difference at all. But like. I got you guys tattooed on my forearm here.
Wow.
And like whatever I can do to show you guys love, like as a whole, like that's what I want to do. I do want to comment on something you said, GB, real quick before like we start running out of time, because I feel like it might be near that section. But like I think about what you were saying about like being confident in yourself. And I hope I've said this a few times, but I hope any new wrestler, any current wrestler watching this takes this to heart. But like that's the one thing you really need, because like I've been feeling like how you've been feeling lately. Like I'll be driving to a show, la-di-da, and then like an hour, 30, 25, 15, I get closer and closer, and like I'm like the nerves come in, and that's good because that means you care, about doing stuff. But the thing that I've been noticing now lately, like having grown as a wrestler with you guys, is that I get to a point where it goes through all the emotions, but the final one is, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's something I don't think I ever could earn without you guys' help. You know, your beliefs in me, and like, and not just Southern Honor, but you know, we all know the promotions that are involved with each other and stuff. So everybody involved in those things, like, you guys made me who I am, and like, I want you all three of you guys to like have that confidence in yourself, because Diana, like, you're we can all say this, I think, hopefully, without you trying to kill me later. But you're a little timid, you know, when you first started, you know. But now, bro, like,
Scared to death. I was scared to death. I'm not a speaker. And when people learned like that I talk on a microphone, they were like, really? Because I'm not a speaker. Because I get typing my words and my thoughts and everything. And it's just like,
but you're a singer is what gets me. It's like, you have a voice.
The singing, you know the lyrics and you know the tune. When you have to just talk, you gotta just come out with stuff, and then hope to God you don't say something like whatever it was I called Exotic Youth the other day.
So, you know, I think that's the biggest difference between me and Diana and Gerard. Is Gerard, we know he's just brilliant on the microphone.
Yeah.
Not only in wrestling, but outside of wrestling, and all his different avenues that he does. Man, kills it, right? Me, you ask anybody that I work with in my day job, my real job, and they find out I do this, and they're like, wait, what? Because I'm like just quiet, and I just keep to myself. I do my work and just kind of,
Really?
and Diana just said similar, and that's why I was thinking about me when Diana, you said what you said. I'm like, yeah, I'm the same kind of way. So it's like in the wrestling world, it's like, here we are. Anywhere else
I'm
is
a
kind of like,
joker, but as far as like this, if I had to cut a promo, you better write that junk down and let me memorize it or something. Because
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to be like all into some kind of, you got to piss me off and let me just say something. But I'm just not a speaker. So
see, I work in the radio world outside of here, and I've always been mostly behind the board, you know, editing and producing and stuff like that. Very rarely do I do stuff on the mic for the in the radio world, what I do. But yeah, not until I got involved when they approached me about working with Southern Honor for that very first show. I'd already bought tickets just to be a fan. And we had just started doing MSP, to what you were talking about earlier, David. And Daryl, do you guys remember Daryl? He still comes to a lot of the shows, but he was helping out a lot backstage. And he just, like a week or two before the show, he said, hey, man, I heard your podcast, and we're looking for somebody to do commentary. You want to do commentary? And I'm like, man, I've never done commentary. So that's how I wound up doing it. But I was like, I mean, sure, I'll try it. Why not? And next thing you know, here we are.
You know, all those or that whole group of guys, MSP and you guys are like, I don't know, some of the nicest people I've met, like, especially in wrestling. So I know you've always spoke highly of them too. So, you know, it leaves credence to that. You're a cool dude because you know cool people, you know. But yeah, man, you guys, Brandon, I definitely feel you and D, because like, I'm introverted AF at home. I don't go out. I rarely talk to people, and like, I'm just real introverted. I totally get that, but man, I hope you don't feel like any kind of weird way about your commentary, because like, you and GB, like, you guys are just, I think you guys are phenomenal.
Wow. Thank you.
I think you guys are dope. Like, every time I don't think there's any other show where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to hear what they say about this, you know? And like, yeah, man. And you should just lean into that. You guys know what you're doing.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. And you guys, and your guys' natural reactions, like Pat McAfee was like kind of markish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody likes that. But like, what are you supposed to be? Like, as a commentator, like, you're supposed to be somebody who hates wrestling. Like, I don't care.
Right.
About that.
That's the thing. We're all fans. We all started
you
as
have to tell the
fans.
story, right?
Yeah.
Like, Jim Ross, would you guys consider Jim Ross to be like one of the greatest commentators ever?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That dude was freaking out on everything.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
It wasn't just like, and again, and 1, 2, 3.
Right.
It was, oh my God, he just died. Like,
right.
His catchphrase has become, by God.
Yeah.
BAHGAWD.
Yeah.
That's his catchphrase.
So much
It says it on his Titantron when he comes out. That's his catchphrase.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
much so-
wasn't Jim and Tony. It wasn't anybody for me.
You say what?
If it wasn't Jim and Tony, it wasn't anybody for me. I didn't.
Oh, that's that southern wrestling coming out here out there.
I mean, don't play.
Tony's my dude. So like, and he's actually like, I almost got myself into some heat, but he's been real cool with me. That's my dude right there. So Tony Schiavone, yeah, that's my guy. Also a Danny guy too. So Danny Jordan guy.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I know he loves Danny.
Yes.
I've heard, we've heard about that.
So let me ask you this question. You've won the RumbleJack, and we know what's next up for you is September the 9th. You're in the main of, excuse me, the 8th. I looked at the 8th and said the 9th. I don't know why. I literally looked at the 8th. SHW 54, you're in this big 6-man tag match. I'm very curious because your partners, Gunnar Miller, Corey Hollis, is there camaraderie there? Are you nervous at all about teaming with them? We've been nervous about Corey Hollis for months now. What are your thoughts in terms of them being your partners taking on the end game?
Yeah. That's kind of like that's kind of been my kind of thought too on it. Like, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Because I did tough situation. So I may have came out of pocket talking to Judeus at the end of the RumbleJack. You know, you get on the winning high. You do something incredible like that, winning the largest RumbleJack, most stacked RumbleJack. You know, you feel it in your veins. You know, when you're feeling it, like, especially like you've been gone for a year. It's like you've been gone for like 20 years at Southern Honor. So you're feeling it, adrenaline, excitement, ready to rock and roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Judas comes out as Judeus. See, I did that. Then I told him I was gonna, you know, pretty much kick his head off eventually. And Corey Hollis and Gunnar came and had my back because they knew I was acting out of pocket. They knew adrenaline, win high, like this dude's crazy. He's gonna need some help. So I can applaud them for that because even though I've always been a guy who's, you know, done his own thing, been his own wolf, you know what I'm saying? They recognize that I needed help. We need to be a pack instead of me just being a lone wolf. So I can respect them for that. As far as how are we going to work together? Yeah, no, everybody wants to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we're going to work together. I fought Gunnar Miller in that match. Two of the same guys are involved. You know, they both have been friends with Judeus. How do I know this isn't a setup? How do I know this isn't a setup? How do I know this isn't a setup?
You know Todd better than a lot of people know Todd.
I do, and so does Corey Hollis.
Thank
You know, this doesn't look like it's gonna go in my favor, does it?
It's just something that I have been thinking about since Corey came back. I just don't know. I'm having a hard time accepting him as genuine. He's just proven himself to be not for so long, so many times. So I just have a hard time. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just, you know, fool me once, fool me twice.
But see, I have to think about some things, right? The changes in our lives, like those things make us different people. They make us better people, even, you know. Corey and Gunnar, they both had children since I fought them. You know, they both have a different outlook on life and what it means to preserve that life, what it means to be a role model to somebody else, you know, boys, sons, you know. that's not anything you take lightly, especially like those guys are like some real Southern guys. And like that's like in the heartland down there is like father-son dynamic, you know? So it really comes down to what kind of men do these guys want to be in front of their kids, you know? And now that I'm actually saying this out loud, I'm actually kind of, I think my hopes are high for like how this turns. I spoke to Corey backstage afterwards. I spoke to Gunner, and one thing that I've never seen from the both of them at the same time is them smiling at the same time whilst in the same conversation. That's something I never thought I was gonna see. I've always never seen them argue, be at odds, but they're smiling. And like Gunner's the people's champion for a reason. He's the man, you know, he's the everyman. He represents like all those guys at Canton. There's no way he'd let them down and his son down, you know? So I think Gunner's always going to come through like he usually does. And I think Corey is going to make the leap to be not just a former wrestler, a former champion, but current good human being. So and just even like how Judeus has been like, you know what I mean? That's enough for anybody to want to kick somebody's teeth in, you know? Like all he's done to me so far is take my home and try to do what I thought we just got rid of, you know? Like to me, it's like if I had cats. I said that earlier. You know, I told you guys know this. I house sat for a dog one time, or the dog came to stay with us. I'll get my language right eventually. The dog comes to stay with us. Oh, maybe not too soon. Ugh. This dog had fleas. Yeah, parents did not take care of it. So my cat's got fleas. You know what the hardest thing to do is get rid of? Fleas. It's the hardest thing to get rid of. And that's what it seems like keeps happening to my Southern Honor. I keep feeling like I leave in good hands. I come back, there's fleas. I leave in good hands. I come back, there's fleas, you know? And I'm, just like I said that night, I'm sick of it, you know? I'm sick of it. Did I bite off more than I can chew? Probably. Am I willing to stand there and try to eat it all? You damn straight. Because that is what a real champion does. That's what the longest reigning champion does. That's what a Southern Honor champion does. Looks fear in the face and says, fuck it.
Well, there you go.
I'm trying to hype myself up.
I think you got all of us hyped. We can't wait till September 8th. SHW 54. It's going to be, you're going to have 3 former SHW champions and now 3 RumbleJack winners teaming together. David Ali, Corey Hollis, Gunnar Miller taking on the end game, Judeus, Nick Halen, and Todd Sexton. It's going to be intense. And then, of course, in October, you've earned the right when you won the RumbleJack to have a title match against Judeus at the SHW Still Here 5, our big 5th anniversary show coming up in October. It's going to be awesome. And I think we got to wrap this thing up, man, but we could talk to you all night if we wanted to, but I think we're gonna end it there, because I don't know what else you could say other than how you ended it just now. So I do want to thank you, David, for joining us, man. It's been good to see you back.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna plug one thing real quick because it has to do with Southern Honor, swear to God. So as you just mentioned, Still Here 5, it's gonna be Clash of the Titans. Judeus, David Ali, you know, it's gonna be like the second coming of like Roman versus Cody or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna regret doing this, but I am going to put out this weekend, starting this weekend. It's gonna be a little doc series about my road. I hate saying that because of Road 2 has been used so much with AEW, but it's gonna be my road to Still Here 5. This weekend is going to start off with that. I'll put it out on Mondays. This weekend is going to start with that because I'm going to be at Ironheart Pro. I'm going to try to snag me a belt on the way to snagging my original belt, the Ironheart Pro Championship, this weekend against Rampage Santana. in Minnesota. So be on the lookout because I plan on still being here.
Very cool, man. Looking forward to it. You guys, anything to say before we wrap it up?
Good to see you, bud.
It's amazing.
Good to see
It's
you.
absolutely amazing.
Yes, sir.
I love you
We
guys.
love you.
Love you.
We love you.
Love you too, buddy. And we can't wait to see you September 8th, but I'm sure we'll talk to you before then as well. But hey, until we see all of y'all next week right here on the podcast, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.
BAM!
Hey.